You are a woman between the ages of 19 and 24, and a man in his late 30s and above is pursuing you. You need to run. You need to run immediately, expeditiously, as fast as you can, and you need to never look back. Because the reason he's pursuing you is because he's trying to manipulate you.
Right here, right now. It's the right time, It's the right time, right now. Tell the whole pipe down. Tell that nigga pipe down.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Reclaim Your Throne coming at you with another crazy video. But first, my goal is to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. You already know. Reclaim your throne.
I was running through the six with my woes. I was running through the six with my woes.
Alright guys, so I wanted to play this video because it's pretty indicative of what we see in the dating market today. She says, I was 20 and he was 34, and then she uses the Drake sound to emphasize that she was 20 and he was 34. And now she's acting like she has some regret or she doesn't know what she saw in him and all this stuff. But like I've told you guys from the beginning, women always have been dating the older guys, okay? In elementary school, the elementary school girls were dating the middle school boys. In middle school, the middle school girls were dating the high school boys. In high school, the high school girls were dating the college guys. In college, the college girls were dating the post-grad guys, okay? The guys who are getting their masters, guys who are, going in their law degree. So the women continually and perpetually date up, and then they try and make these little TikToks acting like they didn't know what they were doing, when we all know that they knew what they were doing when they were this young age dealing with these older men. And yeah, they might say, oh, well, the guys my age, they just don't do it for me. They're not mature enough and all this other stuff. When the reality is they're just young and hot and they're getting handouts, so they're able to experience more life, like Drake said, than their male counterparts of their age group. So this is what's happening, and I've got more and more TikToks about age gap dating, so let's get right into it.
Okay, babes, listen up. If he is older than you, if she is older than you, I'm talking about if the age gap is she's in her teens, he's in his 20s. Think about why they're dating you. Why can't they get someone their own age? Are they banking that you're naive, that you're inexperienced? Listen to the song All Too Well by Taylor Swift. I don't care what you say about I'm so mature, blah, blah, blah. Now, there's nothing wrong with a big age gap, but there is something wrong when people take advantage of people because of the lack of experience. Okay, babes, listen up. If he is older than you, if she is older than you, I'm talking about if the age gap is she's in her teens, he's in his 20s. Think about...
So she's in her teens, he's in his 20s. For one, I mean, how deep into her teens is she? Because that is not legal in the first place. However, if she is 18 and say the guy is in his mid-20s, it's completely fair game. As a matter of fact, a lot of women who are age gap dating are getting put on hella game by these older men. These older men are well established in their careers, and these women are getting plenty of perks from these older men. And a lot of these chicks are talking about, oh, well, this guy took advantage of me and whatnot. This is why you involve your family in the vetting process. See, women are bad judges of character when it comes to their friends, when it comes to the men that they choose to date. And I, quite frankly, don't trust them to choose a mate in good faith and base the qualities and traits that she should, go after him for in reality. So, like I said, if these women are not targeting the Malcolms, okay, top tier, second tier, third tier Malcolms. And what is a Malcolm? A Malcolm is a massively attractive or mildly attractive or medium ugly, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable man. If she's not targeting one of these Malcolms, then she's going after a high value man who is actually at the top of the hierarchy when it comes to the male status and whatnot. Then she's going to deal with those high value man problems. And we all know that high value men don't cheat, they exercise options. So if she doesn't understand this and she's going after these high value men who, quite frankly, are on a higher hierarchy than the Malcolms, then she is going to have to understand what that comes with. And she may not even be necessarily being taken advantage of. As a matter of fact, in most dating experiences, women take way more advantage of men, and we know that to be true because men are held to a higher standard, and we have the burden of performance on our shoulders when dealing with new women and continuing to deal with women and keeping our frame. So that is pretty much what's going on with these age gap dating and relationships. So let's get to the next clip.
You are a woman between the ages of 19 and 24, and a man in his late 30s and above is pursuing you. You need to run. You need to run immediately, expeditiously, as fast as you can, and you need to never look back. Because the reason he's pursuing you is because he's trying to manipulate you.
Okay, so if you are between the ages of 18 and 24 and you're dealing with a man who is in his 30s, you need to run, This is what she's saying. It says, I was 21 when I started dating a 36-year-old. He was my first boyfriend. Please listen. Don't let it be you. So obviously she chose poorly, whatever this guy had going on. And I'm going to tell you right now, because it is a black woman, I am going to assume that she was dealing with a thug, maxed, alpha simp. I've already broken it down before, but let me do it again to jog your memory. A thug maxed alpha simp is what is sought after in the black community, okay? A thug maxed alpha simp is a guy who walks around with his pants sagging, hella tattoos, most likely skinny, okay? And, he is a guy who maybe is in the trap, but he's not a Malcolm, okay? He's not one of our guys, all right? He's not a Malcolm. He is a thug max alpha simp. So he's one of these guys who, gets his masculinity through the barrel of a gun. Now, it definitely sounds like she was dealing with a thug max alpha simp, and we're gonna figure out why later. But I mean, if you see what her old handle used to be, it's Ghetto Carrie Bradshaw. So that's her handle. So obviously, if she's even naming herself Ghetto, I didn't call her Ghetto, her handle says Ghetto. If she named herself Ghetto, what type of men do you think she's into? Thug, maxed, alpha, simps.
He's more than likely told you that you're mature for your age, when what he actually means is that you lack experience and you're naive in the world of dating, and you're easy to mold to what he wants, because that is exactly what he will spend the entire relationship trying to do.
And there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of y'all need training, okay? A lot of y'all need to be taught how to be freaking women, especially the sisters, because we know that sisters are the most masculine. Sometimes it takes a man to put you in a feminine place and make sure that you know what it means to be a lady and be ladylike. So, him molding you, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, if you don't like the mold, then that's the guy that you chose, and you can choose to be relinquished of said mold. But if you're rocking with it and you're going along with it and you really care about that guy, then you are going to want to make him happy by fitting into his frame.
He's also doing it because the women his age already know that he's that type of man when they first speak to him within the first conversation, and they don't deal with him. So he's found a young girl with little to no dating experience to convince that what's going on in the relationship, that's not okay. He will spend the entire relationship convincing you that if you can't withstand what he's putting you through, you can't make it with a man your age. And then you will spend the entire relationship trying to prove to him that you actually are mature for your age, like he told you.
Wow, I mean, listen to this projecting. I mean, she had a bad experience, and honestly, I guarantee it wasn't even necessarily a horrible experience. It sounds like to me that she just didn't want to abide by the older man's rules.
It's going to create a complex, and you're going to blame every single problem in the relationship on yourself.
Now, whose fault is that? Whose fault? If you are putting the onus and the blame on yourself, it's your fault, okay? He might send you some direction and he might, correct you here and there, but that doesn't mean you have to go on this self-loathing tirade. I mean, y'all women are fake depressed, bro. Like, y'all are creating scenarios in your head to make yourselves depressed. It's really wild.
He is not going to take responsibility for those problems. He's not going to take responsibility for those problems. He's going to put the onus on you because he's the older man with the dating experience. You're the young girl that doesn't have the dating experience. You need to learn and catch up to him. That's exactly what he's going to spend the entire relationship trying to convince you. And I swear.
Look, like I said, I mean, I'm an older guy. I dated a woman who was in her, 18, 19. I mean, I just laid it out for her. Hey, this is how it's gonna go. It's either my way or the highway. If you down with it, you down with it. If you not, then you get to stepping. That's really how you present it, and it is what it is. It's up for her to choose. But most of the time, these older men are making these women better women. They just a lot of these women are self-destructive, especially when it comes to relationships. They're self-sabotaging because they may not genuinely see themselves in that relationship for the long haul. So they, create scenarios in order to sabotage the relationship.
To God that this is real and this is true. It has happened to me. It's happened to many women I know. It's happened to many women you know. It's happened to many women you don't know. You're going to spend the entire relationship believing that every single conflict, every single fight, every single argument is your fault. You're going to believe it's your fault because you're not living up to being mature for your age. He's going to call you a little girl when you're upset. He's going to say you're being dramatic. He's going to say relationships are like this, and if you can't handle...
I mean, what are the odds of her actually acting like a little girl? Highly likely. What are the odds that she is super dramatic? Highly likely. I mean, what are we talking about here?
He's going to tell you relationships are hard work. Guess what? They're not hard work when you're with someone that you're supposed to be with.
And that's a damn lie too. Anybody who's been married for a long time will tell you that you have to work out relationships. Now, I'm not saying it's hard work and it's just like hard, difficult physical labor, but there are sacrifices that are made on both sides, especially if you're dealing with a high-value man, especially if he was faithful to you. There are huge sacrifices from his end dealing with a young woman.
When you're going to want to leave him, he's going to say, well, you're giving up. How do you expect to be in a successful relationship if you just give up that easily?
I mean, what did he say that was wrong? Honestly, it's not even sounding like... It sounds like this man might have been a Malcolm. It sounds like he could have been a Malcolm. Because he sounds very communicative, operational, likable. Okay?
I'm telling you guys right now, do not be with these men. If they can't be with a woman their age, they damn sure do not need to be with a woman your age.
So she thinks she did something by saying that when we all know it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, especially with these modern women, flash some money, flash some chains, flash a nice whip, and they gonna forget about even watching this TikTok. This TikTok is going to leave their mind. Like, they're not even gonna remember who Ghetto Carrie Bradshaw is, bro. I'm telling you that right now. These modern women don't care about no seemingly or intentionally good advice. Okay, her intentions are good advice. Now, I'm not saying it's actual good advice, but I mean, who got the yachts? The older man. So they hopping on that yacht, bro. It ain't nothing you can say about it. What all this does right here is make the competition even lesser for these young ladies who want to be around high status men. And all you're doing is just convincing pretty much the ugly chicks to, oh yeah, girl, you know, F these older men. Meanwhile, these girls is getting piped down by older men, crackheads at that. A lot of fat chicks in the comments, a lot of ugly chicks in the comments, and she's not ugly. She's actually pretty decent. But like I said, you know, she's just off base. Sounds like she's projecting heavily, and it genuinely sounds like she gave up on the relationship with that man that she was dealing with. So you already know what it is, man. It's your boy Reclaim Your Throne. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Send your relationship questions to your email down below with a screenshot of your CashApp so I know you pay on time, man. Y'all need to be on your more freaking deal with the BS. You already know. Reclaim Your Throne.
Want to become an elite level athlete? Well, look no further. The Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course is all you need to take your performance from subpar to the creme de la creme of athletes all around the world. The purpose of this course is to give you a comprehensive weight training, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance program that is meant to prepare young athletes for collegiate and professional sports. This course is packed with over 2 hours of creative, action-packed lifts narrated and coached by yours truly to assure increased strength, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance. Hey, I get it. Training alone can be tough and can even make you feel misguided or somewhat unmotivated. But with this course, I walk you step by step through each and every lift to make sure you're using the proper form to prevent injuries and that you're hitting the correct muscle groups to render maximum results. So what are you waiting for? It's now or never. So go ahead and get the training course today so you too can reclaim your throne.